Jay's only got about half an hour left.
I know, right? We are live. We are live, finally. Fuck me.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're live.
Hang on, we're live in a bit, love, all right? Yeah, we're live now. I'm on. I'll come and sort you out in a bit.
Right, we're live, but I don't have a chat. How do you get this chat on? Does anyone know?
No, it says we've got chat.
Really? So how do I see that? How do I see the chat?
There you go. Test 1 2 3. You see that?
No, man, I can't see the chat.
And you can, Scott.
Oh, hang on. Maybe it's on my other doodah. I'll tell you what. I'll just open it in a new thing and watch it live on mute because that'll work.
No, we're definitely live. Give us a wave, Pete. Right, hold on. I'm just watching the stream now.
We're live, but I don't have any chat here.
Right, so you're roughly about 20 seconds behind. Right, so
okay, I can see the chat. I've just opened it in another window, so I'll just have to work around it.
So we've got bad fucking.
Are we going off your channel, Pete?
No, we're going off Sega Sessions channel.
Sega Sessions channel.
Yeah.
Right. So yes, we're live. Welcome to Sega Sessions. We have 4 viewers. At least somebody's here. Me and Scott are joined by Jay, sybersnake7. Hello, Jay.
How you doing, guys?
Hello, Jay.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for inviting me.
Hello to Tim, bad fuck up, who's in the comments saying hey.
Hello, Tim.
So yeah, I mean, we've got a few subjects to talk about, Jay, but it's a free for all. You talk about whatever you like.
Right.
We'll let Scott start off, I suppose, because you had some interesting stuff going on before while we were messing around, didn't you, Scott? Shenmue, you want to start with, or?
Yeah. So this week I picked up the Shenmue 1 and 2 HD remake, remaster, whatever you want to call it. It's good. Been cracked on in about 3 hours of the first one. I know there's been a lot of negative publicity about the amount of glitches that are in the game. And, yeah, I know that obviously your friend of mine, Shenmue, he put up a video recently saying about he had got a Barney with GameSack on Twitter, and the GameSack were quite adamant that the game was unplayable and it was unfinished, and Ben was just basically saying he's played, I don't know, he's live streamed over 5 hours of it, I think, without any glitches, and he was sort of saying that, if a game which is they had to work so hard to get, that kind of attitude in terms of saying it's unfinished and don't play it, it could be quite harmful to the future of it. So I think with a lot of Shenmue fans, they're obviously very sensitive to not so much criticism, but I think anything that could potentially harm the future of it, which is understandable, really.
Yeah. I mean, especially the fanatics, like you've got the Shenmue 500K and all that, and they're like so passionate about Shenmue, and they have done for years. And I'm sure that although that they had a kind of feeling that let's hope it happens, they never thought it would actually happen. Shenmue 3, I'm referring to, of course. But yeah, I saw he uploaded a video. I didn't watch it yet, but he had some argument with him.
Yeah. It was. I mean, he comes very articulate in terms of the arguments for it, and it is very much a case of it's kind of the world we live in. Games are released kind of not unfinished, but with bits and bobs missing, really, ain't they nowadays?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's I can understand sort of Ben's point of view when it comes to that, really. But yeah, I personally haven't come across any major glitches with it, and I've enjoyed it. It sucked me in, and it's engrossing as ever, really, the game. I know it's just a fantastic sort of scene. I think playing it now, and then obviously since playing Yakuza 0 and Kiwami, I mean, obviously Yakuza takes the same sort of formula and is streets ahead in terms of advanced sort of gameplay, but you can definitely see how Shenmue started it really to that degree. But yeah, it's worth playing if you've got, you know. But again, like Jay was saying at the start, there's so much coming out on PS4 in the next few months that it's going to be hard to sort of get the time really. But,
well, I don't know. Like I can't. I'm trying to think when was the last time I bought a PS4 game. Ages.
Really?
I've just been playing Fallout. Still, I don't know. There's just not that much that takes my fancy. There's a couple like God of War that I want to pick up, but I'll pick it up when it's like 10, 20 quid. I never pay full whack. And I'd like to get into the Yakuza series because I haven't ever played any of them. But I don't know. They seem like they're quite the time sink.
Yeah, no, they are brilliant. They are brilliant. I mean, Yakuza 0 to be honest, I don't really do the side missions. I tend to find quite distracting. I tend to just enjoy the main story. So on average, it can take you about 30 hours to complete.
That's not too bad.
I mean, like, and I would say at least, you know, you'll get to one scene, and then there might be 15, 20 minutes, half an hour of a cutscene to sort of, you know, progress the story. But again,
wow, fucking hell,
the game really, really good.
Right.
Recommend them to anyone. But again, it is a case of sitting down, getting your teeth into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll buy like we were saying earlier, I don't know if I'll buy Shenmue HD or not. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Have you bought it, Jay, or will you buy it?
Of course. I've got it already. I've uploaded it to the PlayStation. But I've got to be honest and tell you, I've never actually completed any of them.
Mm-hmm.
I played them. I got to the forklift section on the first one.
Yeah.
And I never got past it. I just never got any further.
No, that's fair enough.
There's quite a lot of monotony in a Shenmue, but it's kind of that real world thing, isn't it? It's meant to be monotonous at points. Really, it's not really a game you can just sort of smash through. It's not like Grand Theft Auto where you can do one mission after one mission after one mission. You do have to pace yourself.
Well, it is kind of like Grand Theft Auto in a way that you can play the game for hours and hours and hours, and you don't have to complete it. It's still enjoyable. You could play Grand Theft Auto and essentially never do a mission.
Yeah.
You know,
same with
you what?
You can just run people over, really, can't you?
Well, yeah, there you go. I remember when Grand Theft Auto 4 came out, and they used to get mates around, and we just like blaze it up, and we just go on the piers, and you could just walk into pedestrians, and they'd fall in the water.
Yeah.
And we used to do it we'd sit there for like 4 hours just doing that.
It was fun though. I mean, like just you know, getting your wanted level up to the full, what was it, like 6 stars, and seeing how long you can evade the cops for, really, ain't it?
Oh yeah, sure.
You know, going to the top of the building, maxing out your ammo and your weapons, and just killing the old Bill.
You just set yourself up on a roof.
Yeah.
That's what you used to do. And you used to just take people out, and then the police would come, and then you'd have the army in the end, literally helicopters, everything over the top of you.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It never lasted. Crazy, but fun.
It was always Vice City. That was always my favourite, just for the soundtrack alone. It's and the
Vice City.
Yeah, that's my favourite.
That's my favourite, man, hands down. This fucking soundtrack is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I'd love them to like do. I know they probably do. Obviously, when they've got Red Dead 2 out of the way, they'll probably move on to 6. But I'd love them to do a full-on, you know, proper remake of Vice City. You know, that would just be that would blow my mind. You know, in terms of the aesthetics, getting Ray Liotta to do the voiceover again, and oh man, that would be the bollocks. Yeah.
Problem is licensing on all the music. They probably have to change the music.
Yeah, true. Because I suppose I know obviously music changes hands all the time, doesn't it? In terms of, oh, there you go then. Yeah.
Vice City box set, Pride of Place by the CD player. Of Got the San Andreas box set as well. That's pretty good, but it's not as good as Vice City, but it's decent.
Fair play. How much did that cost you? Where did you
Oh,
get
not a lot. It was like 35 quid ages ago.
Yeah.
Hang
on, love. It's all right. My wife wants to know what is the channel? Sega Sessions.
Yeah.
It's all in one word.
Nah.
Is it? Because like I've tried to find it on YouTube and I can't find it. I cannot find it. Have you got? Is it just like We're Live as it is, or you got?
Is she on a computer or is she on her phone?
No, it's on the teller.
Oh.
So I'm just like trying to
have it.
If you hang on, let me go on my phone. But I'm sure if you type Sega Sessions, it's pretty high on the list.
Should we go through the comments as well?
Oh yeah, please.
Yeah.
Go on while you're doing that, yeah.
So yeah, obviously we've got Tim Bad Fuck Up. Hello, mate. Big Man Child, Timekeeping Gents. We apologise. It was this is the first time we're back in about a year and a half since we last had Stu on. So yeah, we did have a few technical problems. Lee, Retro Chef. Hello there. How are you,
Hello,
Lee? Obviously, Bearded Man Child never played the games. Just saying. Assume that's probably Yakuza or Shenmue. Stu has said the notice board behind me needs to be straight, otherwise the world is on the piss.
He's right, you know.
Yeah, but I did try and straighten it, but it's not having it. So it is what it is. Then we have Game Home Classic Gaming Evening All. Hi mate. Amiga Old School. Evening chaps all. Paid around £35 in HMV for the Vice City soundtrack. Fantastic soundtrack. And we've got Scott, Sega Zombie, in the chat. So hello Scott. Nice to see you.
Chef says he's in Disneyland Paris and he should be enjoying himself, not watching this shit.
Should be chasing Snow White, shouldn't you, Lee?
Yeah. Is that a euphemism or is that
yeah.
I mean that literally?
Well, that means I'll be able to go to the boot sound tomorrow and not feel I've got Chef breathing down my neck.
That's it. Zoe's recommending you put a Atari Lynx on one side of the board to level it out. You've got one.
Should we just take it down?
Just take it down, burn it, mate.
There we go. Done. Sorted.
So while we're on the subject of Vice City soundtrack, other great soundtracks that I know Jay is a big fan of video game soundtracks.
I love the vinyls, yes.
What's some of your favourites?
Well, I've just got myself the Dark Souls trilogy.
Yeah, I saw that on your Instagram.
Yeah, and that's pretty impressive. Because as I say, when you're playing the game, you don't really take any notice of the music that much. But when you actually got it on the vinyl, and you can appreciate it a hell of a lot more. And as I say, there's a lot of vinyl. I've just gone mad into it, to be honest with you. Absolutely on the vinyl. Too much, to be honest, but I love it. Absolutely love the soundtracks.
I'm quite selective on what I buy because of space.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I love it as well. I just recently got the Shadow of the Colossus, which is one of my favorites.
Yeah, right.
Amazing soundtrack. But it is nice to put them on when you're doing like the housework or when you're at home just chilling or whatever. Put it on.
Yeah.
There's nothing quite like putting a record on.
You're right. Can't be a bit of vinyl, mate.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll put my hands up. I don't have an LP player, unfortunately.
No.
I have considered getting one, but it would literally just be for video game soundtracks.
It's a hugely expensive hobby.
Yeah.
I wouldn't bother getting into it if, I don't know. I think it's like a bad time to get into it. I don't know. Like on the one hand, it's great that it's got a revival and everything. It's really popular and you can buy them anywhere. But then on the other hand, you know, they're a lot more expensive now.
Yeah, I mean, you go into HMB and they've got like the iconic albums, you know, like Nirvana, Nevermind, or you know, What's the Story of Morning Glory, Oasis, all these sort of like these, you know, these iconic albums. But you have generally got them on CD. So if I was to literally get LPs or vinyls, it would literally be gaming soundtracks.
Yeah,
you know,
you pay big money for any kind of music nowadays on vinyl.
Yeah, yeah,
25, 30 pound plus.
That's what I mean. I mean, video game soundtracks, I've probably got like 20 on vinyl, and then I've got hundreds of other stuff that we buy. And anything I want to buy, if I'm not using Spotify, we'll buy it on vinyl. And the missus, like some of these in the back there, and belong to the missus. She's really into it as well. But I think that's because we've always been into it. So like when I was a kid and when she was a kid, we listened to records, our parents' records, and then I started buying and collecting records about 25 years ago when I was 12, and I started to have pocket money, and I would go and like buy records, you know, at the record shop on the way home from school. But I think if you don't have that kind of link with it and love for it, then is it necessarily worth it? I don't know. And it's expensive. Like buying a decent record player and stuff is not cheap either. If you're going to buy a record player for like 400 quid and then buy only a few records to play on it, it's not worth it, is it?
Not justifying it, I know.
And some of the actual sets that they come out with, especially data disc, they are stunning to look at. You know, I really like the Sonic Mania soundtrack. It's really, I mean, obviously I haven't got it myself, but in terms of just playing the game, the tunes are really, really catchy on it. And obviously you've got like say the iconic Mega Drive ones like Shinobi 3, and obviously the Streets of Rage that everyone would want. But again, I mean, I know data discs tend to do reprints, don't they? So it seems like when the batch get low, the prices rise, and then obviously they do another print. But it like you say, it's expensive to get into, really, just for maybe 10 or so vinyls, ain't it?
Do you know what I find the weirdest thing about it is I watch a lot of YouTube, and some people they buy the data discs and other limited edition records, and they're really expensive, and they openly admit that they do not have a record player.
What's the point?
I have no idea. And it's kind of like the sealed game debate that I know Chris from Retro Heads was doing a video chat thing on this the other week, and he was saying that, you know, he thinks that people shouldn't open sealed games, whereas I don't give a fuck. If someone wants to open a game and play it, that's what it's for. It's supposed to be played. And that's, you know, when it comes to records, I'm like, you can't just buy a record and just put it on the shelf. You've got to enjoy the whole thing, and taking out the sleeve and the feel of it, and putting the needle on it and everything. You know, it's just the whole experience. It should be enjoyed, not just sat there.
I would say that collecting retro vinyl is probably even more. I think it's becoming a point where it's actually more more in demand than retro gaming, I would say, because I think you know, we're quite niche in terms of you know, what we're looking for is very niche, whereas I think music tends to be much more of a broader scale. You know, you can sort of dip your toe into music and be into music, whereas with retro gaming, it's kind of all or nothing. You don't tend to get the sort of casual retro players. If they're casual retro, they tend to emulate, I find.
Yeah, so, that's true.
You know, I think because I see at boot sales, you know, vinyl seems to be much more keenly contested than gaming, I find. You know, there's a lot more people rummaging through old vinyl than looking for old games. And it is obviously, it's a lot more common. You know, people keep vinyl from the 70s and 60s, I find. But
it's a minefield buying records like that, because you know, of course, all media deteriorates, even CDs or anything. It's going to deteriorate eventually, but records literally deteriorate because you're putting a needle on it, which is cutting the record. So depending on the quality of the record, it has a set number of plays. So any record will eventually deteriorate because you've had a needle on it, which is why I always recommend that people don't buy like a really cheap shit record player, because that will cut your records to shreds like really quickly. And if you're buying like, sorry mate, go on.
So I've still got the record players I'm using now.
Oh, you have? Awesome.
Yeah,
that's all right, that one.
Fantastic record player, better, much better than the one they originally had.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? You I've occasionally seen like the really, really cheap ones, like sort of like a 30 quid Fisher Price one or whatever, you know, like, and I'm like,
you're not going to buy a record player that's going to be less than the record you're putting on it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like people buying 60 quid records and then not spending that on a. I mean, in all honesty, you can't buy a 60 quid record and put a cartridge on it that's not worth that. You know what I mean? Let alone the rest of the record player. But yeah.
Should we have a look at the comments?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So where was we? Yeah. So Retro Chef Lee says kids are sleeping. I'm chilling here. Obviously Disneyland Paris. So we've got. Just I don't want to miss anyone. Game Hammer Classic Gaming. Q people complaining about lack of a board now. Retro Chef said to me, "I will be there in spirit, Scott." You can direct me to the retro then, Lee. He's old school Hurricane 2, so imagine that's probably his soundtrack.
Hurricane 2 is up there in one of the best soundtracks ever made, man.
Yeah,
honestly. And if I get the chance to get the original, I know he's saying that they're doing a fundraiser for the orchestral version, but if I get the opportunity to get the original on vinyl, I'd be all over that.
Yeah. We've got Sega Zombie Scott wishing my kids were asleep at Retro Chef. Bearded Man Child, I never saw that. Pete J won't accept my request on Instagram.
Do you know what? Who is Bearded Man Child? Reveal your real name, because I know everybody else's real name in the chat, and I feel like I'm going to leave you out if I don't know your name. I'm sure I should know this. Here we go. Can we click go to channel and have a little? Should we stalk this person? Bearded Man Child. He's got a channel. Oh no, I know him. I subscribed to him recently. Yeah, good channel, but I'm not sure that I know his real name.
No. Game Hammer Classic Gaming, late 90s and early 2000s were the best time to get into vinyl. Nobody wanted that stuff. It was so dirt cheap. That is probably very
absolutely.
Good. You know, I think parallels between retro gaming and vinyls are, you know, spooky, to be honest, in terms of Stu too. He says Pete can summon Batman.
Yeah, with my lamp.
Yeah.
That's a good lamp, that.
Amiga Old School waiting on the Kickstarter. Chris H for the orchestral of Hurricane on vinyl.
That's Chris Hulsbeck who did the soundtrack.
Oh, right. Game Hammer again. Having said that, there are still some local record shops and second-hand places that carry vinyl for incredibly cheap if you're prepared to take a look around. Again, much the same like games, really, isn't it? So, I had a Fisher Price record player that came with 6 records.
Yeah, I had that as well.
Fisher Price, that actually did an LP player then.
Yeah, it came with little plastic records, and you put the needle on, and it was like I
remember that. Little toy, weren't it?
Yeah, and it had the music built in, but whichever record you put on it, it kind of clicked a thing, and it would play that tune, like nursery rhymes and that.
Game Hammer games are meant to be open little tools if you want to. Sega Zombie Scott, I had that too. Stu, Amiga Old School, been collecting vinyl since '99. Got two desks with mixing drum and bass, house, trance, garage. Now going back to, as Pete saying, buying 80s, 90s music and vinyl. Bearded Main Child, same Stu. Twinkle Twinkle Little Star was my go-to track. Stu, if you could store them in the back. Amiga Old School, Stu, hardest part is storing them. Stu, what the fuck? Blah, blah, blah. This is a conversation between these guys. Best part about the Fisher Price records, you now get 3D prints and new records. That's probably true, actually. I once saw a YouTube video of Star Wars on them records. Yeah. So we're up to date with the chat.
So Bearded Man Child is Craig. Hello, Craig. So I'll update my spreadsheet. And that's not a joke. Do you guys know that about my spreadsheet?
No.
I have a spreadsheet of all the channels I subscribe to, which is like 400, and it has all everybody's names in case I forget. Because I like using first names, you know, it's like a personal thing. It goes a long way, I think.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. But have you come across a channel called Sega Lord X?
Yes.
That's really good.
He's pretty good, you know.
Yeah, he does some really good stuff.
He does. Yeah, he does. Yeah. I love his like when he talks about like his favourite shooters. He just does he does videos in like sync up with shooters and then beats them ups and fewer games. You know what I mean? He does that and he's pretty impressive. I mean, you know, I haven't got the Sega Saturn anymore. Well, I have, but I don't collect for it anymore. But it's still interesting to watch. You know what I mean? But I do like that. Yeah,
I really like him because I find that a lot of American channels, it always seems to be for a bigger meaning to get more subs or to Patreon. That's a big thing over there. And there is nothing like that with him. It's just he does it literally for
he loves it, basically.
Yeah, it's not to sort of make ends meet out of it, really. There's no, you know, there's no airs and graces. But he I subbed to him when he was at 1,000 subs, and in the last 2 months he's gone from 1,000 to nearly 10. So he's doing really well.
He's a serious channel. He's a really good channel. But I say he's watchable and he's real. You know what I mean? He's not one of the, as I say, a lot of US channels that's you know they're in for the Patreon and they're in for the you know what I mean. They just want to get as far as they can and as many subs as they can, sort of thing. So well, that's another story entirely, isn't it?
I do find that the difference between UK and US channels is the US more like they're this character, this presenter, whereas in the UK we're just how we are and we're sat in a room or whatever, you know.
Yeah. Have you had much dealings with is it Russ Lyman who won YouTuber of the Year since? Is he still in touch or?
Not really. He messages me every now and again for advice or whatever, but he seems to be doing, you know, he's doing his own thing with it and he's doing well with it. He doesn't need too much from me, I don't think. He's doing much better than I ever did. I kind of made the decision I was just going to do absolutely nothing and just read out the nominees and say, see you later in like 5 minutes.
Did you really want to do it though, Pete? Did you really want to go down that road and like YouTuber of the Year?
Okay, I'll tell you. Yes, I absolutely wanted to do it because I thought it was like an honor.
Well, it is.
No, it is. I'm not saying I used to think that. It is an honor to do it. However, it 100% really, really hurt my channel for that year.
Did it?
Oh, of course, yeah. It hurt my growth like so much. So this year, since getting rid of it, I've
putting time into YouTuber of the Month and.
No, it's not the time. I didn't put any time into it. Like I said, I just went on camera for like 5 minutes. I did like fuck all on it. But when people see that pop up, they're like, you know, every time I upload one, I'd lose a shit ton of subscribers within like an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you found it lately? If you get subscribers, right? Like I've had a few over the past few weeks, but as soon as you get them, like you get to your sub count and your sub count's going down, and I just can't.
Mine's going up at like 50 to 100 a day at the moment. It's going nuts. So not really, but I know what you mean. It does happen, yeah.
Yeah, I get that a lot, and like it's a pain in the arse, to be honest with you. Real pain. But then again, I ain't uploading, so it's my own fault.
I suppose you got to be consistent. They say, although I'm not really, you know. I went through a period recently with like 3 weeks. I just couldn't be asked. I just didn't do anything for 3 weeks.
I'm talking nearly 4 months there.
Oh yeah, I know. but you know, however long it is, if you're not feeling it, what's the point?
Well, I've had things on, and like you know, as I say, like I've just been busy, and there's no point, as I said previously in my video, there's no point in doing a video and sitting in front of and making a video because people can see you're not feeling it. So what's the point of doing it? You know what I mean? So I think I'm just going to wait and just get it right. I'd rather come in, you know, do a video and make sure that everybody knows that I'm actually wanting to do the video instead of doing it and thinking, oh, you can see he's doing a video, yeah, but he don't want to do this video. You know what I mean? I don't want that. So I'd rather just come back and do it when I'm ready, when I'm right for it, sort of thing. And I've been doing it 6 years now, and it's
wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I'll tell you when I first started doing YouTube, it was when my missus was just going back to work. She'd just given birth to, obviously, you lads met my son at play.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, he was 6 months, and he's 5.5 now, and that's how long I've been on YouTube. And at the start, I was smashing through the videos, but I mean, you go through lulls, and you tend to just. What I was finding, I was watching people talk about games that I owned, rather than me actually playing the games.
Well, that's what I think that happens with most people. They literally, you've got the games, but you're still watching people collect the games that you've already got.
Yeah.
One of them. I mean, really, one time I was doing 3 videos a week.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, seriously, 3 videos a week. I absolutely loved it, but it's just life, like, it gets in the way. You know what I mean? It just situations change, and my job's change, and you know what I mean. It's impossible.
I do think there is a massive lull in the community in terms of people uploading stuff. I think that when I first come along, there was consistent videos being uploaded. You think we had the 15-bit brothers, you know, where there's Herbie Ass 007, we had Woodlin. It's difficult to name. Think of who was who.
She Shanks as well.
Yeah.
Like that.
Who else? There was just loads and loads of people. You know, Nova Bug. That were uploading on a weekly basis, and it isn't to the detriment of you know, these. It is just case. I think the scene's kind of died off a little bit now. I mean, whilst we're all still pals and we've all got each other's, you know, we're all in touch with each other quite often on a daily basis. But in terms of actually doing what got us to these relationships in the first place,
it has died back a bit.
Well, I don't know. I think you could benefit from broadening your horizons, because there's plenty of other people doing stuff. I know what you mean, though. Like, I do know what you mean. Like, my watch later list is like 150 videos normally, and at the moment, like the last few months, it's been around 40. And I just sort of go through them, and a lot of people aren't uploading, but like I'm still meeting loads of people all the time, man, in the community. Honestly, like when I go to Play Expo, I met new people, and you find new channels, and I'm finding new people, and there's plenty of stuff out there.
I find that I'm a creature of habit, and I'll tend to watch the people that I sort of am sub to, that I know. I'm sub to like probably 250 different channels, but there's probably a core group of maybe 50 or so channels that I'll watch
regularly.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of, when I started, which is unbelievably like 3.5 years ago, I can't believe, in a way it feels like yesterday, and in another way it feels like forever ago. Do you know what I mean? So like, I don't know, I always kind of consider myself relatively new on the scene certainly compared to you guys and Stu and Daz and everyone who's done it forever. But when I first started, and I'd done it for a few months, and I came to Blackpool, and everyone was so welcoming, and I know Stu especially is like such an advocate of new channels, and I kind of always looked up to that, and I thought that's, you know, that's going to be what I want to be like. So I always try to really support new small channels, and you know, watch them and support them, and because I really appreciated people doing it for me, you know.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point, isn't it? Really,
fair point. Yeah.
Someone had a go at me the other day, right? So I don't know what you guys think of this, but because I don't record my own gameplay, so when I do a video, I haven't recorded any of that, and someone was saying, "Oh, why don't you on Facebook? On my latest video, this DOS video, goes, oh, I see you linked all this video links. Why don't you record your own?" And I said, well, like I was telling Scott earlier, like to get that video done in a week, I basically have to write the script, which took me like 2 weeks. Like I can do it at work when I got downtime at work and stuff. So like the research and script taking me like 2 weeks, and then I'll record the audio on the weekend. because then every night in the week I can just do a little bit every night of the editing. So it was like every night doing like 4 hours, and like some nights up till like 4 in the morning editing, and then I get up at 8 to go to work to get the video out. And because once I start editing it, like sometimes I'm like, oh, I can't be asked, but once I start, I'm like proper get into it, and I'm like in the zone, like it's like really addictive, you know. And he was going, oh, if you had the passion, blah, 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 you record your own gameplay. I'm like, mate, it can take 30 to 40 hours to do one video. If I was to record gameplay for 10 games, that'd be another 10 to 20 hours. I've got a full-time fucking job, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just not feasible. And I know some people are like, you know, you should record your own, but I can't. I literally can't. I wouldn't be able to do it if I did working full time. I don't know what you guys think of that. Whether you think it's acceptable or
look, at the end of the day, you've got enough on your plate as it is. You go heavy into the editing part of things. Now me, I'll switch my camera on and I'll sit there and I'll just say whatever comes out of my mouth.
Yeah,
that's the way I work. You know what I mean? I've got no time for this editing or like, you know, putting things in. And like, thankfully, I've got like intros down to you, Pete. You know, it took me nearly 5 years to have an intro. I would literally put the camera on and go for it. You know what I mean? That's the way I work, and I prefer it. I like it that way. You know what I mean? I just like.
Yeah, I mean that's the stuff I like watching. Yeah. Just people.
It's real though, isn't it? Really, it's just like a dance, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the majority of what I watch is people on camera talking.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, if I had the capabilities and then had the know-how to do it, I'd love to be able to, you know, edit and do things like that. But I just think I've got an iPhone and that's it. You know what I mean? So I do quite well with what I've got. So I just enjoy sitting in front of the camera and just waffling up and what I've got. And I know people go on about pickup videos saying like, you know, people hate pickup videos, but that's all I ever do. And I love doing it, and I'm never going to stop.
I love doing pickups, man, as well. Like whenever, because I hardly do them anymore. But I was saying to Scott, I've got one to do on Monday because I've got about 6 months worth of pickups set up there, and I look forward to it because I can actually be on camera, and I feel like I'm talking to you guys, whereas I don't when I'm doing like voiceover stuff.
Yeah,
it's like a disconnect, you know.
It's better. Yeah, it's much better when you're there and you're showing your stuff and you've got your face in the camera. You know what I mean? Obviously, a lot of people, or some people, can't do that. You know, they can't show the face, and they just show the pickups in their own style. You know what I mean? But for me, on the camera, in your face, this is what I've got. I love it.
Yeah, me too.
How did you get into
YouTube? Done it for a while. That's the trouble.
So Jay, how did you get into YouTube then?
How did I get into YouTube? Strangely enough, I was around my mates one of the nights, and I just randomly looked at Alpha and Magazine talking about the PSP.
Yeah.
And it just something sparked, and I thought, you know what, if they can do that, I want to have a go at that. I wonder how I get into it. And just researched it a bit and threw my video up, and I thought, let's see how we go from here. And like, what, nearly 7 years later, you know what I mean? Here I am still. You know what I mean? I'm not like in the stratosphere of subs, but I've enjoyed the experience, and I've met some brilliant people. And to me, nowadays, going to the events, it's not all about, oh, let's see what I can buy. If I'm lucky, if I buy anything, I literally went to London and I come away with nothing.
Same here, yeah.
You know what I mean? I literally go there to meet people.
I came away with a hangover. That was it.
Yeah. But that's it. I literally go there to meet people and just catch up with people. You know
that's what it's about, really, isn't it?
That's what it's all about, like
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the way I collect nowadays, I'm never going to find what I want there.
No.
It's never going to happen. Never going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm just too damn fussy nowadays.
Yeah. It is all about the community aspect. And
absolutely.
You know, when you've been in it for a number of years, you see a lot of channels hit it hard. And then they kind of, you know, they make contact with, I'd say maybe established guys in the community, but then they sort of fade out, or they disappear. And it is all about that continuity in terms of, you know, staying in touch, not even so much uploading videos, but being in contact with, you know, like-minded sort of people.
Oh yeah,
more than anything.
Yeah, I've got people who haven't uploaded a video for years that I chat to all the time.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Once you've got contact with people, you know, it's better to have contact with the people sometimes than waiting for them to do a video, because as I say, a lot of people just ain't got the time to do the videos anymore. So, you know what I mean? You still got the contact with them people, and you never will lose the contact with the people that you've met over the years, you know what I mean? Which is good.
I know, I know as well, there can be a lot of negativity in the sort of, you know, the YouTube scene, but I think overall it is a really good, it's going to sound cheesy, but it is an overall, it's a good thing. You know, you meet new people, you're from different walks of life, different ages, different backgrounds, and you know, it's only a positive experience generally, I've found, in the long run.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And obviously, you got the, you know, the background lurkers and the, you know, various sometimes come down on comments, but that's just the nature of the beast, really, isn't it? And you know, if you put yourself out there in any kind of, you know, public eye, you know, then if you're just a guy with an iPhone, like you say, or you know, a Hollywood movie star, you're open to people's reactions. So you know, you just got to take on the chin, really.
I mean, whatever kind of channel you have, you've got balls to put yourself out there. Like the missus was saying to me last night, she said I'd never do it, like record myself and put it on YouTube.
No.
So it's easier for people to criticize, and every time it's someone criticizing, you click on their channel and they got fuck all on there, and it's like, well, it's easy for you to say because you don't do it. Well, let's see you make a fucking video, mate.
Exactly.
Yeah. It just, I say, it's just nature of the beast, really, isn't it?
Shall we catch up on some comments?
Do you want to go from Pete?
Yeah, I'll go for him. Yeah, no worries. So Craig saying subs over views or views over subs. What are your thoughts?
Personally, I'm not bothered about the subs. If people look, at the end of the day, if people want to watch or people want to sub, it's entirely up to them.
Yeah,
that's right. Because you know, I mean, I'm just in it for the enjoyment. As I say, friends and knowing people, getting to know people is the key for me. That's what it's become over the years.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, at the beginning, everybody wants to go, oh, I wonder how many subs I've got. Because when I first started, I was checking every day, oh, I've got a new sub, You do that. It's a natural instinct for you to do that when you very first started off. And nowadays, compared to when I started, and like yourself, Scott, it's a lot harder. So difficult, I think, to get recognised or to get them subs without people like us three and you know, a lot of YouTubers out there who don't shout out the newer YouTubers. It's very, very difficult, I think. I really do.
I mean, there's so many more people doing it now than when you guys started. That you're fighting in this sea of channels, and how do you get yourself out there?
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's about finding a niche, isn't it? Really, it's difficult because that niche can sometimes, you know, if you collect for one type of thing, you know, are you limited to that type of thing? You know, I know obviously we all know Retro Dave very well, and you know he got criticism for selling his Nintendo stuff, and it's like, well, why should Dave be pigeonholed? Just
it's up to him what he wants to do.
Yeah, exactly. But sometimes, you know, the viewers may not see that. But yeah, I'm not really fussed in terms of viewers or subs. Really, it's more like I say, much like Jay, and probably I know Pete, you take pride in your work, but with raw and uncut sort of fellas like me and Jay, it's probably, you know, it's just half a done, six are done. What is the saying?
Yeah,
half a dozen of another, really.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like, it's definitely comments. Like, I like getting comments, you know?
Yeah, say comments.
Because that's that interaction. That's the whole reason I got into doing it, is to interact with people and meet people like you guys. That is what I wanted from it. And it's done that times 100 beyond what I ever imagined. But, you know, I'd put views over subs.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is like the interaction and everything that's the important thing, I think. Adam Amiga Old School saying the same. It's about interaction. What else we got? So Craig's saying he believes streaming is on a high nowadays, which I was chatting to someone earlier about, actually. So a lot of YouTubers are not uploading a lot because they have gone to streaming on stuff like Twitch, which I don't really know how Twitch works. I've not ever been on there, but I know a lot of people have kind of migrated to doing that.
But yeah, again, it's having the time to sit there and do it for hours on end. Have you got that time? You know what I mean?
No.
Nobody's got. So I can't even sit down and do it like a 20-minute video. So sitting there for like hours and then talking and playing a game, which, you know, I don't even get the time to do myself lately. I had an hour and a half a night for that. So which is out the question for me. Anyway,
I think like when I sit and play a game, it's kind of like my personal time. I don't really want to share it.
No, that's what I'm saying. You sit down and you enjoy your games that you've got, and like, why should you share it unless you're literally doing it as a review as such, or, you know what I mean, I'll pick this game up when you show a clip of the game sort of thing. But in terms of like game, I just want to sit there and just play the games. And that's what I've done while I've been away. I've just sat there and appreciated what I've been buying for the last year. You know what I mean? Instead of just like putting it on the shelf and let it gather dust like most people do.
Yeah, that's it. That's I've been doing a lot of that, thinning down a bit and just enjoying what's there. And you know,
I'm still on the process of thinning down. I'm thinking about getting rid of my Wii collection and the Wii U, just getting rid of it. At the end of the day, what I've got on the Switch, I've already played on the Wii U and the bloody Wii. So what's the point in owning them 3 times? To get rid of what I've got. I don't play the systems, so I'll stick to the Switch and just get the better versions, because I guarantee you'll have a new system come out, and then you'll have other reincarnations of Mario Kart and bloody, you know what I mean? It's a never-ending cycle with Nintendo. That's the only thing with me that I love Nintendo, but that's the only thing that bothers me about them. You know, they do bring out new games, but they just rehash after rehash after rehash. You know what I mean?
They're that's a bit like Sega, really, in terms of a lot of dormant IPs, isn't there? I mean, I'd absolutely love to see a new F-Zero. I mean, F-Zero,
seriously,
my favourite game on the N64, F-Zero X, fantastic game. And you know, I don't know why they just don't license an F-Zero to is it Shin and N, the guys in Germany?
Shin-En.
Yeah, who did Fast Racing Neo?
Yeah, because he did a it was in my cancelled Game Boy Advance video, wasn't it? He did like a top-down F-Zero for the Game Boy Advance that was cancelled. But amazing technology. Like, he developed his own technology to run on the Game Boy Advance, and it's nuts.
If you Fast Racing Neo on the Wii U is a fantastic looking game. And why they just don't license an F-Zero, say, there you go, lads, go and do what you want with that, you know. And you know, you got all the F-Zero fans. I mean, like, I know what Jay's sort of saying. They do tend to just reproduce the same things. Obviously, Mario Kart is, you know, but you know, your Kirby's and your Star Foxes, you know, they could miss a generation for
easily.
Like your F-Zero, you know. I mean, I'd like to see a new Eternal Darkness on. You know, I thought that was a really good game on the.
Fantastic game.
Yeah,
on the game, but where's it gone? It's just, you know what I mean? Silicon Knights have brought it out. And I mean, do Silicon Knights exist anymore? I'm not too sure. The company.
Don't know. I don't think so.
No. You know, there's a lot of again, every company's guilty of that. You know, you could say the same for any of these. You know, why do EA not bring back a Road Rash? You know, and it's, you know, any right. You know, you say the same about any sort of company, but yeah, F-Zero really does stick in my mind. It's quite a big title from Nintendo that's just sort of been left to rot, really.
It has, really, hasn't it? It's a shame. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's just this rehash culture at the moment, and it's not just video games; it's movies, especially with all these reboots and everything. You're not come up with a new idea, but the problem lies with the consumer at the end of the day. If people go and watch the movie, if people buy the third remake of so-and-so Nintendo game, then Nintendo are going to keep doing it, aren't they?
Of course they are. Of course they are. Yeah. So it's all our own fault at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What else we got in the comments? Craig saying downtime at work, what the fuck? Yeah, so I work in an office, so I do get some downtime, which is a lifesaver. Zoe saying there are channels that upload gameplay for you to use, so why not? Yeah, which is true. There's channels like World of Long Plays, and they say, you know, crack on and use it, just credit us, which is great. Scott Sega Zombie saying he loves pickup videos, doesn't understand the hate. Same here. If people don't like stuff, they don't have to watch it. That's what I always say.
Exactly. They've got the choice, haven't they? You know what I mean? So.
Adam Amigo Old School saying exactly how I feel about events, meeting people. He says, what else would we do instead of YouTube? Well, I'd probably do drugs. Yeah, I'll go for drugs. Pat's here. Any old username? Hello, Pat.
Hello, Pat.
He said I don't do gameplays because I'm crap. So he's found my secret. There is actually another reason. That is actually a reason. Like if I need some gameplay video and I'm proper shit at this game, you know, it's not going to be great gameplay, is it? And Stuart Marshall is here from Galaxy Sega saying, what has he missed? You have to go back and watch it, won't you, Stu? But hello. So topic-wise, we've covered some topics. I'm sure I wrote down some other topics here.
He's going to talk about these. What is it? 8-bit do.
Yeah, 8-bit do controllers. Yeah.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on them, then, Jay?
Me, I haven't got one yet. I'd like one, and I think they're pretty good, to be honest with you, especially the Super Nintendo ones with the sticks on. I think they're quite good. I don't know. Is there any issues with lag on them or anything like that? Or
I don't know. I don't know if you've seen it. These ones have been officially licensed by Sega for the Mega Drive.
Yeah, we've seen the Sega Saturn ones.
Yeah,
they're quite cool. They are, and I've seen them yesterday.
Yeah, I hope that because obviously they've done ones with almost like a dual shock, and it'd be nice if they were compatible with the the PS4 or PS3 or.
Well, I'm assuming that I don't know what are they compatible with anyway? The 8-bit those.
I'm thinking at the moment it's just PC. But...
Purely retro, is it?
Well, they're anything Bluetooth, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. Right.
I believe so. I'm sure you can get a dongle for this, like actually use it on a Super Nintendo.
Yes, you can. Yeah. You can buy it. It's on separately, or you can buy it together.
But they're giving them away free at the moment if you renew your Retro Gamer subscription. If you've got a subscription, which I have, so I need to call them and say, there's like a number you call when you say, I want to renew my subscription, and give me a controller, and they'll give you one free.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Which is very nice.
Very nice indeed.
I don't know about the Saturn ones. I think that some of them are going to be wired, aren't they? Some of them are going to be wired.
I noticed the pictures that I've seen, there's actually wires. Yeah, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, they're doing Bluetooth standard ones, wired standard ones, and this sort of hybrid dual shock kind of Saturn crossover. But that'd be quite good because I know that you can get the official Saturn controller for the PS2, and I know Big Rob has got one.
Very expensive. It's talking £150 easy.
A lot of money for it, didn't he? But...
yeah. Do they not do adapters?
No, you can't. You don't seem to be able to get a PlayStation to Saturn. You can get. I think you can get you can get sort of an adapter to play your PlayStation on the Saturn, but not the other way around.
Right, gotcha. Because I've got a PlayStation to Dreamcast and I've got a Saturn to Dreamcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never seen one going Sega to PlayStation.
No, I haven't. Which would, I mean, obviously that for fighters, there's nothing better than a sort of Japanese Saturn pad, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. it's yeah, it's pretty bulletproof.
Yeah, especially when you compare it to stuff like the Dreamcast controller, which is just the worst, man, for fighters.
It's horrendous, isn't it? It's horrendous.
Yeah.
Stu's just asking to Jay, have you got your 500 million PS4?
Unfortunately, no, I haven't. I missed out. But I got myself, obviously, I got myself the joypad, the controller. And I've got the headset coming in November, but I haven't got the system. I missed out, which I'm pretty peeved about. But at the end of the day, I will get one. Never say never, but I'll be paying through the eBay consortium for it, which is going to be like, at the moment between like £700 and £800.
Well, it's like we said in London. It's basically the new version of the PlayStation 20th anniversary, really, ain't they?
But that, believe it or not, has also gone up in price due to the fact of the latest console coming out, which I've checked. You know what I mean? And that's probably even more expensive now than the actual new system that's come out.
I see him in CX occasionally, and I think it was about 600 notes they wanted for it.
Yeah, that's not so bad.
Was that loose or?
I couldn't really say, but I would imagine it probably would be. But it's a lot of money just for a different shade of plastic, isn't it? Really.
It's a nice shade of plastic, then.
Yeah, it does look nice.
I paid room for it, so it's definitely coming eventually. And the 20th anniversary.
That's all right. You'll get it hold of it eventually.
I believe.
So, in the comments, Pat's saying he thinks the 8-bit dough are breathing life back into the retro scene. Which, probably got a point. And Craig saying that he's got 2 of the original 8-bit dough pads for his Raspberry Pi, but they were laggy, so he bought an arcade stick. But yeah, he's saying Gruss and Kev Wolford have recently swapped the boards out. Have you seen their videos on those?
Oh no.
I saw Kev's. I did see something on Kev's Instagram about that.
I think Kev did the NES one and Gruss did the Mega Drive one. So what they did, Jay, they got the 8-bit dough controller, and then they took like original board out of a controller and put it in there, so it works wirelessly.
Oh right.
Something like that. I don't know. Yeah, and apparently they work pretty well there.
Yeah.
It's all aggro, and you want to buy the pad and you want to be able to use it without all the hassle. You don't want to be swapping boards and all that. I mean, fair play, I know how, but you know what I mean? You're paying that kind of money for a pad. You expect it to be doing the job as soon as you take it out of the box. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess. So I mean, I don't mind having stuff modified, but I'm more of a pay someone to do it person than do it myself. It's just something that, like, everyone says, oh, you could do it as easy as tutorial, take you like an hour. And it's like, yeah, but I just don't enjoy it. That's not like an hour I'm not enjoying. So it's just better to get someone else to do it. Yeah. Some people love it, don't they? All the hardware modifications and everything.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That's what kind of puts me getting off. That's what kind of puts me getting an arcade.
Yeah, you're saying the same thing. I'd love an arcade machine, but it's all the rigmarole and learn how to maintain it and look after it. I mean, it's like Dave, he's bought, look, it's what, 5 or 6 over the past 2-3 years now. But he's learned along the way how to maintain them, and that. And he's picked up some really good knowledge. But I don't think I could,
Well, I know the Operation Wolf one that you had. It wasn't. There's a few bits here and there that
had problems. There's no recoil and things like that. And you had to buy new things for it, then sort of thing. So.
I couldn't be doing with it.
No,
I'm dedicated for that, and obviously he's got the dedication for it because he wants these arcade machines, and he's done well with these like Donkey Kong, and he's stripped them down, refurbished them all, put new side panelling on. I mean, they look absolutely superb now. But as I say, you've got to have the dedication, and Dave's got it in spades at the moment. So
I think I'd need a guy who did house calls.
Definitely on the phone. I've got a problem. Come and help me.
Daz is here. Coronus Delora. Hello, Daz.
Hello, Daz.
I think. Obviously, I'm lucky enough to see Dave's new setup, and it is. I mean, it's a sight to behold, and it's. you know, with the old school Nintendo arcades and you know, clean walls, it is a proper. You know, it looks like a proper professional setup, and is.
It's done a great job. Yeah.
Yes, it is lovely, and the arcades really do. You know, that's kind of the environment that those sort of machines need to be in. Whereas, you know, if I got one, it would just be sitting in my garage, really. But it's yeah, it's something to maybe consider. But I mean, I was looking. There was a Sega Rally that went on eBay, like an original freestanding Sega Rally, and it was about 400 quid a couple of months ago, which isn't like that's not gonna like set everyone on fire in terms
not
of
going to break the bank, but what you got to consider is
it's the space.
It's the obviously the space in that, but it's the afterwards if it goes down, and you got to have the money to have the cost to repair it and things like that, haven't you? Have you seen these one-up arcades that are like American shores? I think they're pretty impressive. You know what I mean? For somebody that hasn't got the space, you know what I mean? I think, you know, that's something that I could probably consider. I know it's not.
Well, I love my little bar top. I love my little bar top that I got off Paul's Custom Cabs.
Yeah.
You know, it's emulation essentially. It's got one of them multi jammers in.
Yeah.
But it's just tiny. It fits in the game room. It's not very intrusive. It's all good, man.
Yeah, it looks good as well, though, don't they?
I did consider it one of them, but I felt it like cheating. You know, I still feel like I need the proper arcade experience.
Oh, it's definitely cheating, but what can you do?
I know if you haven't got the room and you haven't got the know-how or the cash, then it is the best thing to go for. I think the bar tops. So these one-up arcade machines, they are, and they really, really do look good. They really good, look like authentic arcade machines, half the size, of course. But you know, you get like 4 or 5 games on each one. If you're into your Centipede or your Crystal Castles and things like that, or you've got one coming out, it's got Strider on Final Fight, Ghosts and Goblins. You know what I mean? The variety's there for everybody, and there's a lot more coming out next year. Whether that's everybody's cup of tea, you know what I mean? It's you know, personal choice at the end of the day. But for me, as I say, I've got no room in this room anyway. So if I was going to get one, it'd be downstairs. So I've got to get something compact and small, and something I can play, and hopefully the missus will play as well.
So Pat is saying that he said the cabs are actually hassle-free. It's the PCBs that are a pain in the arse, which is fair enough. And Dave is here. His ears must have been burning. We were just talking about you, Dave.
Hello, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, do you guys? I was going to ask this question. I don't think I asked this question. Do you guys ever, like during your history on YouTube, ever feel pressure to buy stuff for the sake of doing a video?
At the beginning, yes. That's all I did. I'll be brutally honest. I used to go out each week and buy anything for the sake of just showing something. That's why I could do 3 videos a week.
Right.
But like obviously over the years, you realistically come to terms with yourself, and you're thinking, what you're doing, what you're bothering for, like, and you just call everything off, and then you just say, right, okay, I want specifics. I want to collect this. Like, I collect Super Nintendo. I've done it for years, and I'll never stop. But it's got to the point now for me where I've got more or less everything I want, and now I'm hitting the high tier games. So I'm going to be lucky to get probably 2 or 3 of these a year. The way things are, because they ain't cheap.
Yeah,
seriously not cheap. I've done the Master System set, which was crazy at first, because I literally bought 10 games a week when I first started that. 10 games a week. I don't know whether I did it, but I did it. And towards the end, obviously not having the harder ones till last, of course, it got like a right struggle. A real struggle. Yeah, I can totally agree. At the beginning, I just literally, as most people probably did themselves, they literally bought for the sake of doing a video. But as I say, you just live and learn. It's experience at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And influence is a massive thing on YouTube as well.
Yeah. I would agree as well. I mean, people were saying at the start, Jay, and that was exactly my reaction at the start, because you're so excited that you've got people watching you, and you feel obliged to buy, X, Y, Z.
Exactly.
I do enjoy sort of going in charity shops, and I do enjoy going to boot sales, and picking bits up. But a lot of the time, it is just sometimes moving on. And now I've got sort of kids. Quite often, it's my other thought would be, would my kids like to play that with us? So yes, the game might be shite, but it is sometimes a case of, so I picked up all the SSX games, a couple of games. They're only like, a couple of quid each, but me and my little boy, we love playing them. And, it's stuff like that, that I wouldn't necessarily show in a video. So, but yeah, certainly at the start, it was, you do generally pick up some random stuff.
Of course,
but it's funny now because there are a few, there's a few channels that I can think of. I wouldn't name them, but there's a few channels that I can think of that still have that kind of habit,
mentality,
of buying stuff. Where really sort of YouTube and the retro YouTube sort of community, I think, has kind of moved on from that kind of, because whilst we're not seeing sort of pickup videos anymore, the pickup videos that people do generally upload tend to be of good, in terms of like, the more sort of sought after stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Whereas you don't really see the stuff like, I've got this. Obviously, Stu is the exception. And,
he's an exception because he literally gets his for CX fodder to get the stuff that he wants.
Yeah, exactly.
The right way, So.
And the way Stu delivers it is quite entertaining. We've all met him. He's quite a character, and he comes across that way on camera.
Yeah, definitely.
It's the stories and tales that he tells is the entertainment part, not so much what you're picking up.
Yeah.
But I think Stu is the exception. But I think the overall arc tends to be that, the times have sort of moved on from just random pickup videos.
Definitely.
I mean, I've got some channels I've subscribed to, and sometimes I know they're doing that, and I'll watch the video for a bit, and they're like, "Oh, I found this at charity shop," and it's a stack of just tat, right?
Yeah.
But the point is, it's not the fact that it's rubbish; it's the fact that they're just listing games. So they just go, "Okay, I went to a charity shop and I bought this, and I bought this, and I bought this," and it's literally like that. It's like, I can go Google a list of games, mate, whereas someone like Stu or other people or whoever, like I've got this stack of pickups upstairs, like I said, and there's a story behind all those pickups, like why I wanted to buy it, what it means to me, or there's this and that behind it. And like you say, when Stu's showing stuff that he's bought, there's always this story as to what happened at the booter, or this, that, and the other happened, and you're watching it for the person. I don't think it's enough for someone just to show a list of stuff they've bought, and that is it.
No. I think you put Retro Chef in that category as well, because obviously he's very similar to Stu. He'll tell the gist of the story, but it's entertaining to find it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I've got a couple of boot sale videos that I've got on my channel recently, but the stuff that I actually picked up, I was really lucky in terms of what I got in terms of the Wii U games. Stack of 12 Wii U games for £1 each, and 2 stacks of well over 20 Game Boy games in each video. And that was something that I wanted to show off, like, look, lads, just found all this.
When you find a haul like that, you know what I mean, and it's relevant to you, then it's worth showing. But if you just look, I'll just buy that and I'll just show people just for the sake of it, then it's a totally different ball game. But you literally got them for the sake, you got them and you wanted them, you got a good haul there.
Yeah.
So I've been to boot sale since and picked up XYZ, not shown it, and it's either gone to CEX or the Retro Hunter in Southend.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I don't think I've ever done it for a video, but I didn't have to, because when I started YouTube, I was in that mentality already of just buy up everything. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd probably be collecting like 4 or 5 years seriously by the time I started YouTube. But I was just like, I don't have that, buy. And I had lists of everything. And if it wasn't on the list, just buy it. Do you know what I mean? And I ended up with thousands of games. And it's like, gets to the point where you're like, fuck, like there's so many of these games I'm never going to touch.
Yeah.
Like some fucking, weird Barbie game or whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? Just random shit PS2 games or whatever, and you end up with them.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's kind of why I started doing other stuff, because it got to the point where I just wasn't really picking up that much stuff. So I was like, okay, I can't like sustain my channel doing pickups. I need something else. So I kind of started doing other stuff and experimenting with other stuff. But like, sorry,
it certainly hasn't hurt you.
No, it hasn't. I mean, it's got like more mass appeal.
Yeah,
but then I love doing pickups and I love watching pickups. You know.
Yeah.
Lads, I'm gonna have to shoot off at 1:15 because
same here.
All right, we'll wrap it up. We'll start wrapping up now, and then there you go. Luke Base Invaders here said yes, boys, boom, and then some kind of random emojis. Craig says that he watched your Man versus Mars System, Jay, and he says congratulations.
Thank you very much.
He says, did you feel the pressure to finish as quick as possible?
No.
Yeah.
Or once it took me 3 years. It took me 3 years.
Yeah, I was going to say
there was no pressure.
I was going to say there's no pressure on that.
Definitely not. No.
Oh dear. But yeah, I mean, any closing thoughts, guys, or anything you want to talk about before we wrap up?
Not really. I'll be back. I will be back soon, hopefully. My first live stream, so it's been pretty good. Thanks for inviting me, guys. That's all.
Oh yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, definitely up for it in the future, without a doubt.
Awesome.
Yeah, definitely. It's nice to get the Sega Sessions back on. I know I've asked Pete the last few months or so. I've sort of nagged him a little bit, and it's just obviously he's trying to get everyone. You know,
you've got to have the time, and everybody's got to have the time to do it, haven't they? So
yeah, but it's always a good it's always a good chinwag, and we cover a lot of ground really. So yeah, to the next one.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks to everyone watching, and yeah, thanks, guys. Been a good one.
Take care.
Laters.
See you later.
Peace.